Hey everyone, Smak here with you. Today I wanted to bring a little bit of different video here. A lot of people go through and they do drop a lot of trophies at times, sometimes several hundred. I want to go over a few ways of what's causing this and ways to deal with it. Now, even though going through this video will help, it's not going to make it perfect because just hearing what the options are is not going to fix it. You have to go through and apply them. I try to apply most of them, but I'm not perfect. There's some things that just make me rage or tilt. So let's go through a few things. You have to kind of take Clash Royale if you're going to try to get a little competitive more as kind of like a poker mindset or any trading card games that there are going to be things that happen that, are unfortunate. So let's go through a few things that can change your mindset of the game. So what causes tilting or rage? Basically what raging and tilting is when you're not playing 100% because you're upset about the game and it kind of snowballs and you just keep losing. So let's go through a few things here. One is going to be legendaries or that card. You know what I mean? If you don't have any legendaries and someone else does, you're going to be upset. Or if they have that card, it used to be the Expo, the Mortar, it could be any of those types of cards. That's going to happen. It's part of the game. The cards are available for everyone. Just because you don't have it, unfortunately, doesn't mean they can't use it. Because it's just not structured that way. So it's going to be part of the game. So the easy thing to say is, just kind of accept it. By getting mad at it, that's just going to make you upset. And because you're upset, you're starting off at a disadvantage and already starting the first phase of tilt. And once you get tilted, it's very hard, or it's very easy for it to snowball out of control. Something else is RNG. Basically, that stands for a random number generator. Basically, it's, stuff happens. It's odds, randomization. For example, you're going against someone you can beat, and then you get the worst starting hand for your deck. Well, unfortunately, that's going to happen sometimes because there's so many random things. And it doesn't have to just be that. You can be mad because you've never got a super magical chest and you've played 1,000 games and won 1,000 games, but still no super magical chest. It's gonna happen. You just kind of have to go through and deal with it if it does. And there's another mindset of, some people say never lucky. Basically, you're never lucky, you're losing all the time, things are going wrong. A lot of people think they're very unlucky because they don't notice when they do get lucky. They just chalk it up as skill, or it's quickly forgotten because of the rush of winning. Anything like that. They're not like, oh wow, that was very lucky that they put their minions there while the arrows were in the air. Man, you don't think about it that much. So you kind of want to go through and notice when you're lucky and notice when you're not lucky, and you'll kind of see that it's pretty even after so many games. It might not be for the first few hundred, but over a very large sample size, it's going to even out, at least the luck factor. Other things that could cause rage or tilting could be, it could be clan chat. Someone could be getting on you about a play you did, or you could play them and they could be using that card. Anything could happen, and you can go through and kind of get off on being upset because they're pushing you the wrong way. So you just want to kind of try to, take it easy and try to forget about it, because you don't want that person to affect you going into your next battle on ladder or in the tournament that you're doing pretty well in already. Because once you start tilting or raging, it just, like going down the hill of the snowball, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Other things that can cause tilting and raging are grinding tournaments or the ladder for long periods of time. If you keep going through and grinding and grinding and grinding, it's good to go through and split it up. Try not to go through and sit down and just play. Sometimes certain times of the days are different as well. Like you might play one time of the day and it might be awesome, and then another time of the day might just be terrible. So you might want to try to focus on that good time, and that might help with the rage and tilt. there are winning streaks in this game, and as you win, you're going to get placed against harder and harder opponents because you're going up in trophies, and the game knows you're playing for a longer period of time. So because of that, you're going to get matched against harder players. So it's good to take a break once in a while, maybe 30 minutes to reset the game. Idea. You're still going to go against people with decent trophies, but it probably won't escalate as quickly. Also, the gambling theory, winning and losing. People say, when you're winning, get out, take the money, and when you're losing, keep going, keep going. Yeah, that's completely wrong. When you're winning, you're already winning. So you want to keep winning because you're in a zone. So you want to do that until you stop winning. If you're losing, that's when you're supposed to quit. You're not supposed to say, oh, I'm going to double up, I'm going to double up, I'm going to double up. No. You need to quit. Today's not your day. Come back another day or another hour. Go do something to clear your mind. Other things that could get you upset is trophy trading and, tournaments or on the ladder, depending where you are. Basically cheating. Unfortunately, the game's not perfect. Supercell's still looking into some things with that. I get upset at that too. It's just something that's going to be there for now. Hopefully, Supercell goes through and corrects more stuff in the future. Real life can get in the way multiple ways. If you have kids, they could come up in your last 10 seconds where it's a clutch battle and you need to go through and do this thing, and then you get tapped on the shoulder and you miss tap and boom, you pretty much hit nothing with your arrows. Or your internet could go down, your parents could be screaming for you, time for dinner, anything could happen. So you want to go through and try to be careful with that. I haven't figured that one out yet because it keeps happening a lot. Something that gets me the most tilted is when I'm a little bit tilted and then the emotes come out. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Icy Wizard, for going through and helping me make that little clip there. When those emotes come out, they are rough. And you can't forget the thanks, because the thanks is just like a nail in the coffin right there. Unfortunately, you cannot go through and turn them off. There is an emote limit that we found out because the Icy Wizard hit it. So that's interesting to know. So what can you do to go through and try to help with tilt? One thing I noticed is don't keep switching decks. If you're losing with a deck, you don't want to keep switching because it's like starting all over. You want to find a deck that counters everything pretty good. It's decent in the meta, which means current cards that are being played by most people at your level. And you want to go through and stick with that deck and learn that deck. So as you learn that deck, you'll get better and better. The guy, Jason, at the one tournament, he ended up winning the whole tournament. He didn't have any crazy cards. They were all pretty easy to get. He said he played 2,000 games with that deck. Well, he played so many, he knew how to counter everything. So because of that, he was able to win. So it's kind of one of those things you just have to keep playing, figure out, okay, he beat me there, how can I beat that card next time? Because the people that play the same ones over and over again, they do very well. Another thing is, if you're playing long hours, don't autoplay. Don't say, oh, I did this last time, so just mindlessly put cards out. Think about what they have, what cards are going to counter your cards, where they're at in their cycle. If they haven't played the Hog Rider for a while, don't spend that elixir on the princess. Save it for the cannon, because that Hog Rider's coming. You know he's coming. Hog Rider! Another thing is you definitely want to go through and slow down. If you're playing too fast and you're out of elixir all the time, you need to cool off and slow down, because that's one of my biggest things. And I try to tell myself, calm down, slow down. You're going to put too many cards out at once, he's going to counter it easily, and then you're going to have nothing to defend with for the counter push. So that's just something else there that I've noticed. No counters for your deck. If you have the Elixir collector and every time you put it out he throws the miner out and just wrecks it, well, don't play the Elixir collector anymore unless it's going to benefit you in a different way. Like if you're about to lose a tower and you put the Elixir collector on the other side because the miner won't then attack that tower, something like that can be done, but know that Elixir tower is gone and you're going to probably be off a few Elixir. He's probably going to take a little more of an advantage. Make sure you take breaks in between, especially when you're tilted or raging. Turn the game off, go find something else, get something to eat, watch TV, anything. Clear your mind though. Don't go on the internet and look up Clash Royale right away. Clear your mind with something else. It goes through, it refreshes you, and it makes it better when you come back. If you're really raging, counting to 10 helps. Deep breaths help a lot too. Anytime I'm frustrated, and I know it's going to sound weird, I take a bunch of deep breaths, my body's just relaxed. It works. I would do it, where no one can see you, but that's me. If you're rich, you could always go through and do a tilt room. A tilt room is a room basically like a garage filled with plastic, and then you just have a baseball bat with a bunch of items you can break. A lot of famous poker people have a tilt room. They'll put like a watermelon in and go in all his gear covered head to toe and just have a baseball bat and whacking away on things, breaking them. And that helps relieve your tension. If you're not rich, you could always go through, hit the gym, go for a run. Something like that will go through and help as well. Another thing is less of the physical part, but it's more of the mental. It's very, very hard to do. I've been able to do it at times. Basically, it's trick your mind. So say you get 3-starred and you're in a tournament. There's like 3 minutes left. You need the next win to take it down. You need to trick your mind. You can't go into the next game with tilt. So what you do is instead of thinking they won, think you won. Say, I just won that one. I'm on a roll. Let's do this. Let's go. And with that, your mind gets excited and you start going through and focusing more. Don't get too excited where you're just autopiloting. You still want to go through and think of what they're playing and how to counter. But that's just another tip. So why you shouldn't tilt is because this is a game. It's supposed to be fun. I know it's hard at times because, it can get stressful because you're going to keep, the better you do, you're going to keep moving up and playing harder and harder players. So you want to go through, stay cool, try not to tilt. Hopefully these tips help you out. I know when I used to play poker a lot, they did help me a lot. So I'm hoping I pass this on and you learned something. I hope you liked Real Talk with Smak on Clash Royale, Episode 1. If you did go through and like it, make sure you throw a thumbs up down there so I know and I can concentrate and do more of these videos. It will be spaced out a lot more because I'm going to put a lot of thought into every video, so it's not like I'm just going to keep pumping them out. So if you do like it, go through, let me know, and let me know what you'd like me to talk about with Clash Royale, and we'll go through and do that. Once again, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. Smack out.